Yo, what up? It's your boy, the go-to boxing king. And man, don't we have a lot to discuss on the day? I mean, this was by far one of the best weekends in boxing. I love the way things panned out. I love how everything came into fruition for some fighters who a lot of people doubted. And then we got some breaking news, courtesy of the Money May himself, who is right here in Atlanta. But man, I just definitely got to get to this weekend because Lara versus Hurd, to me, was a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. And what I mean by being a hell of a fight, this was a fight of two beginnings. And what I mean by that is, it was the beginning of us seeing something new from Iris Lara, and it was the beginning of a guy in Swift Jerry Hurd, who a lot of people doubted, right? A lot of people doubted this man. But I never doubted him. Not one bit. Because I felt as though Hurd had exactly what it took in order to get the job done. And not only did Hurd have exactly what it took, but Hurd also did it in dramatic fashion. In fashion that we never seen before in a fight with Iris Lara. This is what's funny. Because a lot of people, felt as though, well, Hurd fighting style he won't be able to adapt. He won't be able to cut off the ring with Iris Lara. Lara's a technician. He has the best movement. But we got the exact opposite in this fight. And what I mean by that is it went from being the exact opposite. And shout out to James Dominguez who's tuning in. Shout out to the champ Carlos Jackson, Bubba Martin. I see you all. But shout out to, and James, I got to get your thoughts on the fight. But shout out to Swift Jerry Hurd, man. But shout out to Lara as well. Lara stood in there and went toe-to-toe with a guy who was bigger than him, had the longer reach, who was younger, and had more power, which we saw in the 12th round. And I was amazed. And those of you who did not get an opportunity to see the fight, they will be replaying the fight live tonight on Showtime at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. It'll be right around the time we end the show. But man, was that not a fight? I mean, it was every single thing that a fight fan could ask for, and it was every single thing that I could ask for as a fight fan. Because I was looking for things to happen from a different perspective. And what I mean by it happening from a different perspective was I was looking to see Lara do exactly what everybody thought he was going to do. Move around the ring, showcase the foot movement, the Cuban style that everybody talked about that Hurd wouldn't be able to adapt to. And me, I picked Swift Jerry Hurd to win this fight. James say Hurd deserved that win, earned it. I thought Lara was going to beat him. Hey, I honestly, as the fight was going on and I saw Lara stand there and go toe-to-toe, it was rounds that Lara was winning. And it was rounds that Hurd was winning. But when we got to the championship rounds, and you could see the look on Lara's face and his demeanor, body language. We always talk about body language, right? His body language seemed as though he was defeated after the 10th round. I was like, wow, Lara looks like he can go down at any moment, right? In the 10th round. I felt this way. I was thinking this way. But as the fight continued to go on, it seemed as if, well, okay, maybe Lara's getting stronger. But Hurd just kept the pressure on. And when he walked to his corner after the 12th round and he was raising his hands like, yeah, come on, this is my moment. From that point on, it was over with. Because immediately at the start of the 12th round, Jarrett Swift Hurd gets the phenomenal knockdown on Lara, as you see Lara right here on the canvas. On the canvas. How often have you seen Iris-Landy Lara on the canvas? Not often, right? He's the longest reigning champion at 154 pounds. But what I was telling everybody was Lara has been depressed since the Canelo loss. Ever since he lost to Canelo in a fight that he felt as though he really, truly won, he was depressed after that. He was depressed. He had a couple of more wins. But going into this fight, it seemed as if he had something to prove, right? You could hear him in the interviews. When he was interviewed by Showtime, he was calling out Charlo. And he was talking about what he was going to do to Hurd. You know, it's good to see a fighter have that confidence. But it was out of Lara demeanor. You know, his character. It was out of his character. That's the best word for it. He was out of character. And not only was he out of character, but then again, he fought out of character. Everything he did was out of character. Everything he did. And I felt as though Lara fought trying to prove something. Trying to prove something to everybody. Everybody who hated him. Maybe it was pressure on Lara to give a hell of a fight against Hurd. Because maybe they came to Lara and was like, hey, we don't want none of that shit that you was giving us in your past fights. You know, all that running around, all that stuff that you're doing, we don't want that. Maybe that was the pressure Lara was feeling, and he went in there and stood toe-to-toe with that giant. Dana Jones says when you're facing a 190-pound pressure fight and out of weight by 15 to 20 pounds makes for a long night. Absolutely, it makes for a long night. But it makes for a long night when you stand there and go toe-to-toe with the giant. That's when you're in for a long night. And Hurd was right. At some point, he's going to have to engage. At some point. And we saw that. We saw that. We saw him engaging, and he looked really well. Everybody knows Swift gets to a slow start. The first 3 rounds, you know, I don't know if he tries to figure out his opponent. I don't know if he, you know, I don't know what his game plan be. Defensively, he don't have it all. But at the same time, this guy, he did the unthinkable. He did the unthinkable. And you can't take nothing away from him. I can't take nothing away from him. I'm proud of him. Definitely glad to see that he unified the division. And this is what is going to get interesting, because we was talking about Charlo, right? And we was talking about how Charlo was basically out here saying, hey, this guy is going to be easy work. I'm going to knock him out. He ain't going to last with me. Right? You hear Charlo talking this trash, but I'm like, dude, I think you took the easy route and not face Lara in a fight that really could have truly tested your ability as a fighter. And 2, you talking about a guy who can take shots. I mean, damn it, I never seen nobody stand there. I don't know how long his boxing career gonna last, but him standing there taking those shots and coming, he looked like, for one, he got a chin like Triple G. right? Because Triple G got one of the best chins in boxing, if not the best chin in boxing. Period. And I can debate that with whoever, because we seen Triple G. I mean, hell, the shots he was taking from Canelo, he just looked like he was, somebody punching Drago in the face, and Drago just giving you that look like, oh, really? You just hit me? like one of those chins. James said he don't think Lara has the legs anymore. He turned 34 overnight. Hey, it was like, maybe he did have it, but it was like the pressure was on for him to give a fight to Hurd. And I felt as though he was thinking like, you know what? This guy may be good, but at the same time, I don't think that his skill set is better than mine. That's what he was thinking in this fight. I think he was thinking that in this fight. Like, I am way more far superior than Swift Jared Hurd. So I'm going to stand there and go toe-to-toe to him, because he's going to be easy pickings. And I think that was Lara's mindset. Like, hey, this guy, he can't mess with me. He can't handle me. Because, I mean, look at him. He was completely out of character. He was completely out of character. I mean, it was so much to the point to where it was like, damn, Lara giving us a fight like this. Why can't we see this all the time from Lara? Why we didn't see this against Canelo? Then you start asking questions, about past fights that you saw Lara in. But this was something that was totally out of character. I don't know if that was the game plan going in. But obviously, I'm thinking that he's thinking his skill set was far more superior than Swift Jared Hurd. That's just how I feel. And it was a hell of a fight. James, I mean, well, everybody did think that Hurd was below average. People did. People thought that. And also people was thinking that, this guy, he don't have what it take. He don't have what it take. Not only was people thinking that, but also everybody else that's in the boxing world, right? Fighters don't believe that the guy have what it take. And I'm like, how can you all not believe that this guy right here, Swift Jared Hurd, has what it takes? When he did a phenomenal job against Austin Trout, and Trout was putting hands on him. Trout was literally putting hands on the guy. And I'm like, man, you know what? If Trout putting hands on him, I could only imagine the work that Lara is going to do, right? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Lara was going to just come with a whole different mentality than everybody else. But he stood there and went toe-to-toe with the guy. And kudos to Hurd, because I picked Hurd to win the fight. I felt as though the reign of and the era of Erislandy Lara, I just felt as though it was over. Because, for one, this division is full of young talent, right? Everywhere in boxing right now is full of young talent. And you see the upper echelon guys who are already established in the sport. I'm not going to say they're starting to diminish, but they're coming out of their prime. Like, they're reaching towards the end of their prime. They are. Some of them still so great skill set. But a lot of fighters sometimes go past their prime. And for her, he is completely in his prime. But for Lara, I mean, can we say he's out of his prime? I mean, I don't know. I mean, what would be next for Lara? right? If Lara was to face, I don't know. I mean, who would Lara face next? What would be next for Iris Lady Lara? Some people say he should have a rematch, given the fact that the fight was so good with Swift Hurd. It should be a rematch there. But I'm thinking, why have a rematch, right? When we have the possibility of a full unification at 154. We had a possibility. It's all about unifying the titles right now in every division, from heavyweight all the way down to all the other weight classes. That's just what it's about. And this is what I want to see. I mean, this is what I want to see. I want to see unifying of the titles, right? They talked about with Hurd. They asked Hurd about Charlo, right? And how he felt about Charlo and what was his thoughts as it pertains to Charlo. And this is what Hurd had to say. Because this guy, I don't think he ducking nobody. I think he's ready for everybody. But here's what he had to say.
Listen, Jamil Charlo, no, I'm not ducking anything. You see, I just fought the toughest person in my weight class. And tell him this, keep running your mouth.
You're a scary man.
Keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth. Hey, we all heard the hoopla that Charlo was raising post weigh-in, right? After the weigh-in, and then after the fight. We all heard it. And I felt as though he's not giving at all, period. He's not giving Hurd no respect. None. Because he feels as though the style of Hurd is going to be easy cookings for him. I don't know. Maybe y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe he thinks different. Maybe he's thinking different. I don't know. But I just found that to be very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, what are y'all thoughts? What did y'all think about Charlo, wreaking havoc on the weekend? Do y'all think that Charlo has an opportunity to defeat Hurd? Because this is a potential fight. This fight can be happening by the end of the year. It has that possibility to be happening at the end of the year. And I'm thinking, maybe, just maybe, it's going to happen. Just maybe. It remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things that you have to ask yourself, if this fight was to happen, given the fact that Hurd is the A side, Charlo feels as though he has the most prestigious title in the division. Is he willing to fight Hurd when Hurd is ready? Because obviously Hurd said, I'm the A side and I'm calling the shots. I'll meet with my team, and when it happens, it happens. When it happens, it happens. But I ain't ducking nobody. And I'm like, dang. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But that was a hell of a fight between these two. Kudos to them, definitely. But we're finna move on to our next segment, right? And that is Money May talking about, your boy, Gervonta. Well, Gervonta, as Floyd calls him. But this was interesting. Floyd was talking about Gervonta Davis and how Gavante was going to be possibly fighting Lomachenko after his fight on April the 21st. Now, a lot of people immediately felt as though Floyd was taking shots, right? Oh, this is Champ calling in. Hello?
Jeremy, what's going on?
Oh, what's popping, bro?
What's going on? Jay, I was trying to call the wrong phone number. I'm like, what's going on?
Oh, no, you good, man.
What's cracking on me?
Oh, what's popping, man? This is a surprise. I thought you weren't gonna be able to be on.
I know, no. I mean, I can only talk for just a little minute, man, because I'm currently busy right now. Stop it. I'm a little tired because I've been flying in and out, sleeping in the airport in Miami and everything. Pretty much, yeah. I got jet lag, so I was just like, man, let me do a quick interview. I ain't gonna leave you hanging.
Oh no, you good, man? So
yes, indeed.
So we appreciate you taking the time, coming on with us, most definitely. And
sorry.
But I'm gonna go ahead and hop into it. I want to get your thoughts on the fight, definitely. I mean, what was your mindset going into this fight?
I mean, I gotta win, man. You know what I mean? Like this right here is like a breaking point because I mean it's a title fight. It's my first title fight. It's a WBC title fight. I'm basically like the Central America WBC champion. You know what I mean? So this is why it's something for me. It's something big for me. It's an opportunity for me. You know what I mean? I was like, man, I'm all in it. So I'm not gonna play no games with nobody, man. Whoever's gonna be in the ring with me. Before I knew it was gonna be, Luis, and I was like, I ain't care whoever's gonna be. They're gonna be a victim. They're gonna be a victim. And hey, that's what happened.
That's what's up. Now, another question I wanted to ask you, definitely in the first couple of rounds in this fight, did you feel as though his height and his length was a problem early on? Because it seemed as though you was the faster fighter.
Kinda, sorta. It kinda sorta was a problem, but the top of that, I remember I told you about. I had a sparring session a week before. I had a sparring session that Thursday, basically the Thursday before the weigh-in. You know what I mean? I had a sparring session a week before, and I had a bad cut on my bottom lip. So I really couldn't have a real deep wound, to the point where it became like a sore. You know what I mean? So it was hurting badly, but I didn't tell nobody. You know what I mean? I didn't tell anybody. But I was like, you know what? I ain't finna just call out or just say, let me get some time. Because it wasn't nothing but a cut. I'm not worried about a deep cut. But I was just like, when he hit me, he hit me with something. It ain't really hurt. I got it fixed. I don't care about it. I can take punches. I don't care. And I got a kind of a Panamanian Mexican style. I don't care. So when he hit me with something, I think the first round of the 30 seconds he started, he tried to win it off. I guess he tried to win for that last 30 seconds. I said, well, I'm not getting hit no more because it stings. I can't even eat food, you know what I mean? So if it punched me, I was like, no, it stings. I'm not, you know what I mean? So I was kind of cautious when I was hitting him. I mean, because, everything I saw the punches. I just wanted to, you know what I mean, work on different things in the fight, you know what I mean? And learning more.
So everything it was that you pretty much worked on in training camp and your game plan, you was able to be effective with it in this fight, right?
Pretty much. I mean, see, the thing is that the dude who I was actually supposed to fight, Luis, he backed out of the fight the week up. So we were kind of nervous, but luckily, we already had another opponent lined up. He was already approved by WBC, so we was happy about it. He was like, okay, there's Luis backed out, he punked out, whatever. We got him, and I was kind of, I was shocked that he was much taller, but I heard he was taller, but say the truth, it ain't really matter to me because everybody as far is a little taller than me, so I didn't really care too much. Not worried.
Right, because at the weigh-in, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Almost a giant.
Hey, it didn't really matter to me, man. Tell you the truth, man. I was, everybody as far as taller. I'm not no tall guy. Everybody as far as taller than me, so it really didn't even matter to me. I mean, it was just going to be something different. I was like, you know what, it is what it is.
But another question I was going to ask you. You said that I know when we was talking the other day, well after the fight, you was telling me how you felt as though, well, I think it was the third round when you started showing your defensive skills, right? And you were displaying
Pretty
your
much.
defensive skills when he was throwing his shots, and when he was throwing, he wasn't hitting and landing on anything. But it was that one shot that you hit him with. Was it? I think it was to the body.
Yes, indeed.
Hook
Yes,
to the
left hook to the body. So what
Hook to
happened
the
was,
body.
like, if you look at that, like 15, it was like, I think it was 15 last to 15 seconds. Because the whole third round, like, really, it was the last 30 seconds of the second round. I kind of started getting my groove out. Like, okay, I know what he's doing. I know what he was doing the whole time, but I'm not one of them guys. I got to sit you out a little bit. You know what I mean? So
Right.
by the later second round, kind of knew what he was doing. So I started kind of blocking. I'm like, I'm just finna pressure him over. I'm just finna manhandle him because he don't got no power. And I know he's not handling me because he's running around. I'm cutting the ring off. He can't do nothing. So what I did was, in the third round, I was just like, you know what? I'm just finna block. I'm not even finna, like, do too much. I'm not going to get hit because I didn't want to get hit. Like I said, my mouth was stinging. I don't want to get hit with nothing crazy. You know what I mean? To make it burn or make my mouth busted because it's still white. It's white meat. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna block all his punches. And I think I hit him with I think I ducked the hook. Like if you look at like the last 10 seconds of that part, I ducked the hook, hit him on the left body shot, and I seen his face crumble. And that's when I say, you know what? Go to the body one more time. My coach said, go to the body again. And I did it, and then his face folded up, and that's when I went for the charge. But he went already on the ground.
Yeah,
Murder,
because
he rolled.
at that point, when he went down on the ground, he didn't want to get back up.
No, he did not. His face was shook. He was like, dog, I can't do it, homie. That's it. That's out, bro. I ain't trying to do nothing else.
Man, and that was a good fight, man. Shout out to you and Coach Felipe, man. Y'all put on
Yeah,
a
man.
masterful performance.
Yes,
Kudos
indeed,
to you
man.
and to your coach.
That's what we do, man. I mean, I come in this game like I told you. I come in this game. I'm not playing. I'm bulldozing through people, man. You know what I mean? I'm not one of the guys who's just gonna come in. I'm not taking nobody lightly. You know what I mean? So it don't matter
Right.
who you are. I don't care how your record is. What I heard, I might have sparred. It don't matter to me. I don't take nobody lightly, man. So when I step in that ring, man, only thing I'm doing is I'm like Mike Tyson in this heyday. You know what I mean? I'm looking dead at you. He can't even look me in my eyes during the weigh-in or during the fight. He was kind of nervous, so I was like, I already beat him. I know he's scared. He don't want to fight.
Right, you
know,
could tell.
Man, I could
you
tell,
could see
man.
by the body language.
Yeah, my body was scared, man. He didn't want to fight nobody. He was just there. You know what I mean? He tried in the first round. He tried, but after that, he was like, man, this guy is coming, man. I can't do nothing about it. The pressure was to go. Listen, if you would have got up, it would have been an ugly knockout because I was waiting, homie. I was waiting for that. When I was waiting for that, I wanted him to get back up. It was going to be even uglier.
Man, I knew it was going down. I knew it was over with before the fight even started. I was just trying to figure out, okay, what round is he really going to turn up on? I was just waiting. I was like, what round is he going to turn up on? Because I see it coming. The way you was cutting off the ring, making the guy fight off his back foot, you could really tell that you was far more of the superior fighter, and you definitely got the job done, man, and kudos to you. But champ,
Thank you. That's what I got to do. You know what I mean? It's a job, man. I'm not, I know he wasn't really going to do too much. I kind of felt it. Like I said, I kind of felt it about it, man. I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? I'm the predator. I was raised to be a predator. So yeah, I could tell who a prey is. He looked like a gazelle out there. You know what I mean? He looked like a gazelle, and I'm the lion.
right?
I could just tell. I was just like, he's scared. He don't want to fight nobody. He can't even look me in my eyes. And once that second round, he was done. But I knew he was done. I was just waiting to keep turning. Every like I say, every round I turn up. Every round it gets worse. It get harder and harder. It's gonna get harder and harder every round.
Well, champ, man, I'm glad you took the opportunity to call in, give us your insight. Oh, quick question.
Yes,
last question. So, what is next for Carlos Jackson? We know that you talked about going to getting more titles, but it was a fighter in particular who you named the last time we was live together. Who exactly was that guy?
Yeah, Jesse Hernandez. That's who I want. That's my next option. You know what I mean? I mean, if I can't get him, then we just gonna wait out the option. You know what I mean? We're waiting on a good deal. I can't really speak on it now because, I just won this weekend, but I know, we're gonna wait out our options. We're gonna see the best move for us because right now we at a point in the boxing, where we're trying to actually find a better move, like a good move. We want TV slots, something like that. You know what I mean? So we're just looking for a better move, man. We're looking for something real great. I want Jesse, but hey, if I don't get him, you know what I mean? I still want a good slot. I want something good because at the end of the day, I'm 13-0 with 9 KOs, WBC Federal Card Box champion, and hey man, speak for itself. So the sky is the limit from here now. You know what I mean? So. At this moment, any prospect can get it right now, man. At this point, I'm trying to get the contender level.
So 122 pound, y'all are on notice. You heard the champ live. Champ, man, thank you for taking the opportunity to speak with us. You go ahead and get you some rest. Enjoy your time off. I know you're going to be back in the gym in about 2 weeks, putting in work. So we definitely look forward to seeing you.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Shout out to you, man. Y'all, everybody, subscribe, Jeremy Sports Network. This is my fight hype. Y'all want to get an interview with me? You go through him.
There you go. Y'all got it. Exclusive.
You be cool, fool.
All right, champ. Appreciate it.
All right, baby.
There y'all had it. That was the champ live calling in. And it's always good to hear from him. I thought he wasn't going to call in, because he was in the middle of traveling, coming back from the Dominican Republic, back to the United States, and going to enjoy his victory. So we was able to get him on. And like I said, man, that's that exclusive. You don't get that everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We definitely working. We his fight hype, like he said. But we're going to go ahead and jump back into other news. And we was talking about Gervonta Davis, right? And what Floyd said about Tank. Floyd said, I already spoke the Top Rank. If Gervonta Davis wins on April 21st, he's going to fight Vasily Lomachenko. We're going to make that fight. Everybody thought Floyd was trolling, right? Because of Tank being in the news. And a lot of people were perceiving as if he was talking about Mayweather when he said, people set you up for failure. I really wasn't ready, to fight for the world title. The pressure of fighting for a world title was too much for me at that time. That's what it seemed like. But if you're Gervonta Davis, you made it look so easy that everybody was in agreement with what you was doing. Everybody felt as though you was prepared and ready for the moment. But Gervonta said something interesting. And he talked about the Lomachenko fight before, right? Before Floyd said anything about Lomachenko. And I'm going to show you how Floyd Mayweather is really, truly being about business. And he wasn't just playing when he said this. Because we got confirmation on today. But here's some audio of Gervonta Davis talking about facing Lomachenko. And I think Gervonta dropped jewels in his interview. Because look at what's happening. Lomachenko moving up to 135, facing Jorge Linares, right? Tank just gave us some jewels, and I'm finna give it to y'all. This is what Tank had to say.
For right now, no, but in the future, yes. Hopefully we can move. He probably when he fighting 135 and I'm fighting 135 or 140, then we will meet up. But for right now, I don't think so.
Would you? 135 or 140, right? That was key from Gervonta. I peeped game right? I told y'all I was following this. So Javante said in that interview was done last year, 2017, February 2017. I think Javante just won the title in the UK. I think he just beat Prajaza, if I'm not mistaken. But he just won. And they asked him about Lomachenko. And he said maybe if he's at 135 and I'm at 135 or 140. Well, guess what? He's about to win the WBA and then possibly get a fight with Lomachenko at 135. If Lomachenko could get past Jorge Linares. Now, everybody was saying, oh no, Floyd was playing. He wasn't serious. He trying to feed that boy into the wolves. Floyd trolling. Nah. Because Todd DeBuff came on immediately after the fight at 4:39 a.m. via his Twitter and stated, I can confirm at Floyd Mayweather called me Wednesday night and we discussed Vasily Lomachenko versus Javante Davis. Facts. We ain't playing no games. I told y'all new media is on their ass when it comes to us giving out this information. Y'all think it's a game. This ain't no game. Floyd wasn't playing. That's why I say you got to be able to decipher what's BS from Floyd Mayweather versus what's real from Floyd Mayweather. Because if you're not paying attention, Floyd will throw something out there and guess what? People will bite it and take off running. But really truly not know exactly what it is they're talking about if they didn't do their homework. But see, Javante dropped those jewels by saying if he goes up to 135 or 140, then we'll fight him. Guess what? Where's Lomachenko fighting Jorge Linares? 135. Javante Davis can easily make 135. Easy. I'm just saying. Y'all got to peep game. Stay on your toes. If you gonna say anything as it pertains to this matter between Floyd and Javante Davis, you better believe it ain't no tension or no issues between the two. It's not. Because Floyd did not disrespect Javante at all, period. He actually praised him. And he putting him in one of the biggest fights of his life, which is going to be one of the biggest paydays of his life if he's to face Lomachenko. You know how many people going to want to see that fight? These are the best of the best right now from 130 to 135. The best of the best. The cream of the crop. Where else are we getting this? But everybody want to know who would win this fight. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about who's going to win the fight. We'll break that down later. Because I honestly believe Javante Davis has everything it takes to be a king at 130, 135. He has it. The guy has it all. When he's focused and disciplined, you can't stop Tank. The guy got hella knockout power. And he don't quit. So it's not going to be Lomachenko versus Guillermo Rigondeaux when Rigondeaux came from, 2 weight classes to fight Lomachenko, and Loma was the bigger guy. No. In this fight against Tank, Tank could be the bigger guy with power. And all it takes is one shot to disrupt everything that Lomachenko has in his arsenal. I'm just saying. Everybody have a game plan until they get what? Tyson told us. Till you get punched in the mouth. So Lomachenko may have a game plan. with the nice movement and getting the angles and all that. But until he get punched in the mouth, because he haven't faced a fighter like Gervonta. And Gervonta probably have never faced a fighter like Lomachenko. But the power that Gervonta has is what sets him aside from everybody else. It's the power. I believe the guy has it. I believe he possessed the skills in order to get the job done. But we're going to talk about a breakdown in that fight if it was to happen. But I just had to confirm to you all that what Floyd Mayweather was saying was absolutely facts. And those of you who don't know who Todd DeBuff is, you better do your homework too. But new media, we on their ass. And we only putting out facts. I'm telling these people that. But in other news, right? James DeGale is now back being a champion. I hate it because that was one of the ugliest fights I've seen in a long time. I mean, that was an ugly fight. It was headbutt central in this fight. Caleb Truax, I honestly felt as though Caleb Truax was robbed. And I'm going to give you 2 or 3 reasons why I feel as though Caleb Truax was robbed. Right? I felt as though Truax was being the aggressor. I didn't think that Truax was being as solid with his punches or combinations like he was in the first fight. It was very nonchalant in the first fight. I mean, in the second fight. But in the first fight, it was beautiful. He did everything amazing. Cutting off the ring. Setting up traps to put James DeGale in. And he's the champion going into this fight against DeGale. But DeGale did not show us anything at all to get his title back from Caleb Truax. Maybe I'm wrong. But anybody that's tuning in, did y'all see DeGale do anything to be able to get his title back from Caleb Truax? Or was it that the judges felt as though James DeGale, given the simple fact that he did not put on a performance in what he did the first time round, that the second time round, even though it was an ugly fight, we're going to give it to the better name, and that's James DeGale. Because Chunky was not chunky in this fight. I'm sorry. This was headbutt central. There was so many headbutts in this fight. Caleb Truax was cut over both eyes. DeGale was cut and was bleeding profusely. I was like, damn. Do we get any uglier than this? Because this was ugly. But you know, everybody scores fights differently. You know, that's why you had the 3 judges and how they scored the fight. I darn sure can't tell you. Because it just didn't make sense to me. I couldn't hardly score the fight. So I just started watching it. I just gave up on scoring and just started watching the fight. And I'm like, man, if anything is to happen, maybe Truax attacked the cut and perhaps maybe the blood will get in his eye and they end up stopping the fight or whatever the case may be. I didn't know. But Caleb Truax, if you ask me, I don't think he deserved to lose his title. Because neither one of them, James DeGale didn't do enough to win it, and Caleb Truax didn't do enough to lose it. That's just how I felt. They could have just scored a draw. And damn it, gave us a third fight. I would have been okay with that. I would have been okay with that. But the scorecards was very interesting. Because with the point deduction on James DeGale's behalf, he still was up 117 to 110, 114, 113 twice. He had 114, 113 cards and 117 and 110. What the hell was the 117 and 110 judge looking at? Because the scorecards throughout the night, it was always that one judge who was way off, right? If you go and look at the Julian J. Rod Williams fight versus Nathaniel Gallimore, right? The first fight, 114, somebody had it as a draw. I was good with that. 116 and 112, that was probably around the best card of the night. But damn it, 117 to 110, what was you watching? And so these scorecards were crazy to me throughout this fight. The whole entire night, the scorecards was just completely absurd. But at the same time, I hate it for Caleb Truax, because where do you go from here? You lose your title. Obviously, you may not get another title shot no time soon. No time soon. This is the most money you've ever made in your career. And you lost. But if you're James DeGale, I don't think this James DeGale beats a Caleb Plant. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What is everybody's thoughts on that? Caleb Truax, not Caleb Truax, but Caleb Plant versus James DeGale. Caleb Plant will make that easy work for DeGale. Easy work. And that's what's crazy. James DeGale is not, for one, James DeGale is not the James DeGale who fought Badu Jack. Because I felt as though Badu Jack beat James DeGale. That Badu Jack beat James DeGale. Then James DeGale loses to Caleb Truax in dramatic fashion. Then you turn around and you have an ugly performance. I mean, damn. You mean to tell me that this DeGale is going to beat Caleb Plant? A guy who put on a hell of a performance in his last fight on Premier Boxing Champions? Man, stop. Caleb Plant is a beast. And he'll definitely be a beast if he's able to get a title shot against James DeGale in the UK. And that looks to be the next fight. I'm just saying. He was there at the weigh-in. He was talking that trash. He made DeGale feel some type of way. But I think he gets the job done. I definitely think he gets the job done. But I mean, I'm going to go to the next best fight. And that was Julian J. Rock versus Nathaniel Gallimore, right? Everybody felt as though Gallimore was going to have what it take to get the job done against J. Rock. No. He didn't. He didn't possess that championship pedigree when it came to the championship rounds. He never been 12. He never been 12 before. And J. Rock told him, humble yourself. This is a different ball game when you get to this level. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Julian J. Rock is good enough to defeat Jared Swift Hurd or Jamel. I just don't. That's me. Maybe I'm wrong. We saw him lose to Jamal in stunning fashion before Jamal left 154 and moved to 160. But damn it, boy. I just don't see nothing from J-Rock that scares me. Early on, his jab was phenomenal in the fight. He was doing a great job with the jab. Had power, snapped to it. Then he got away from it. And then Gallimore started to land the left hook. He was doubling up on the left hook to the body, to the head. And then it seemed as if J-Rod was dealing with something. So when he went back to his corner, and his trainer was like, dude, it looked like you're fighting demons out there. I don't know if he was more so scared based upon his fight with Charlo. And he was thinking maybe, just maybe, Gallimore has what it takes to knock me out. But he didn't give up. He came right back out there, started attacking the body, right? He went directly after the body of Gallimore. And when it went into the championship rounds, man, it was over with. Gallimore at that point, legs were gone. It was amazing how he was able to stay upright and not get knocked down. It was amazing to see that. But at the same time, what a hell of a fight on J-Rod's behalf and able to close the deal and get the job done. But do I think that he has what it takes to be a champion? I don't know. J-Rod has to show me more. We saw him fight Ishe Smith, but that was an old Ishe. He fought Gallimore, who was a younger opponent, but you still kind of struggled in moments with Gallimore. But when we talking that championship pedigree and facing guys of caliber like a Charlo or a Hurd, guys who are tested. And I think Hurd is more tested of anybody in the division right now outside of Erislandy Lara. Who else is better? I know we was getting into a debate on one of the boxing pages. I don't know which page specifically, but somebody said, who did Charlo beat in order to be walking around acting like he's the best that he is? And I'm like, well, he is kind of hanging from his brother coattails a little bit, but he has the most prestigious championship, which is the WBC right now. He is a world champion. And, I mean, he gets the job done. He's undefeated. He fought Charles Hadley, defeated him. He knocked out Erickson Lubin. I mean, what more can we ask for from the guy who is beating who's in front of him? My only issue with him was what I talked about earlier in the show, was that could have been him. That could have been him unifying with Erislandy Lara. He could have been taking that fight with Lara before Hurd. Facts. He could have took that fight with Lara before he took on a very young prospect in Erickson Lubin. Because Lubin was the mandatory. But damn it, they didn't order him to fight Erickson Lubin. He knew that was an easy fight. Okay, Erickson Lubin, let me knock him out real quick. He ain't ready for this. And Lubin wasn't ready. I felt as though Lubin needed probably another 3 fights under his belt before he took on Charlo. That's just me. Another 3 fights. They threw Lubin out there too quick. And it was almost as if they set him up for failure. It's levels to the game in boxing. It's levels. And I felt as though Charlo didn't feel as though he was at the level of where he needed to be when he could have had an opportunity to face Lara. But no, you let Swift Jared Hurd face Lara. You let Swift Jared Hurd become the unified champion. And you just want to come through the back door, right? And take on Hurd and feel as though you're going to beat him. But if you ask me, it'll be a hell of a fight. It'll be a hell of a fight. And I'm looking forward to it. If that fight happens by the end of the year, I doubt that it happens this year. I doubt that it happened this year. I think Hurd is going to get some couple of title defenses under his belt. If you're Charlo, hey, keep winning. His time is coming. His time is coming. And I think he's going to be able to do, you know, some good work when we see him in the ring. But shout out to everybody who tuned in on tonight, man. Shout out to Carlos Jackson on winning his title. Shout out to Swift Jared Hurd on defeating Iris-Landy Lara. Shout out to James DeGale in an ugly fight. But you know, he's a champion now. And shout out to Julian J. Rock Williams on getting the job done. Now, I did promise some people, you know, this is funny. It's this song, right? That I asked the artist to do a song for the show. And this is JSN Overtime right here. Those of you who tuning in. But we're going to play this song because to me, this is a really interesting song, man. You got this guy who's from Philly, who came all the way to Georgia. And I think he's trying to make it in the rap game. Definitely trying to make it in the rap game. And the guy possessed all the tools. He reminds me of Meek Mill. You know, rappers from Philly, some of them sound the same, right? And then some of them, you know, have a different, you know, swag than others. But I'm a big Meek Mill fan. And definitely when I heard this song, when this guy wrote this song, it's called In the Midst. And for me, he wrote it for the show. And so I was like, dude, let me hear it. I heard the song and I was like, you know what? It's going to be a time where I drop this on him because he haven't even dropped it yet. But we got it. And I told everybody who stay tuned in, you will hear me drop this track because this guy's going to be successful. He's going to be phenomenal. And hands down, I look for him doing big things in the rap game. But he's also going to be doing big things with JSN boxing. And this is the song right here, man. This is very telling, right? Everybody want to talk about what is going to be the next up and coming rapper. Who's going to be the next up and coming rapper? Man, I'm telling y'all who's going to be the next up and coming. It's this guy right here.
Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. It's sacrifices that you make to get rich. I'm just ballin', trying to get mines in the mix. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. They ain't ballin' like they supposed to. When it comes down to that money, none should provoke them. If you talk 100s and 50s, boy, I can coach you. Time is money, better get in line. Cause we don't fuck with these clown niggas, and I ain't talking penny wise. Born in the Phillies, so I can take you to the gorilla side. Fuck buying the block, I'm trying to get an enterprise. With a foreign chick, they only speak when it's dinner time. I was taught to do it big, never minimize. They wonder why my flow so cold, was born in the winter time. Always on my gristle, haters could never stop my grind. They throwing shade, but the clips can't even stop my shine. Bitch choosing off the way that the Benz ride. I don't need the one to throw the oop, let my man slide. Too busy stacking this chicken, popping them crazy tags. The stones up on my bezel cost me a couple bags. It's sacrifices that you make to get rich. I'm just ballin', trying to get mines in the mix. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. It's sacrifices that you make to get rich. I'm just ballin', trying to get mines in the mix. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. Stop frontin', boy, and get to the cash. Risk my freedom for the shit, you know I do for a bag. Man, with the soda in the pot and let you do the math. You think we stay with them bundles like Queen Virgin Remy. Turn no vision on 12 o'clock for that money. Young niggas in the field, pitching little dummy rocks. Shit, I had to get it, hustle like my last is in it. Boy, I'm never timid when it come to stacking digits. Out here snagging bitches, trying to go from regular bitches. Beat the cash we getting, niggas stuck in the last position. But you ballin' though, niggas stop fraudin' though. They heard my money long, they wanna see how far it go. But I'm never lacking, full let him have it. Get high, break it down the bus the size of cabbage. We in the mix though, you see the way the wrist glow. In the studio cooking that work past the Crisco. It's sacrifices that you make to get rich. I'm just ballin', trying to get mines in the mix. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. It's sacrifices that you make to get rich. I'm just ballin', trying to get mines in the mix. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. I'm in my bag so much they can't stop me. Scheming for a profit, niggas wonder how I copy. Suckers try to be capping the one that play my wallet. Broke niggas wildin', this money ain't the issue. Blowing through that paper, Scott tissue. Try to touch my bread, your body yeah, get outlines stiffy. Boy, you isn't ready when it come to getting fetty. And follies making it rain and forecast is heavy. Took your bitch to the crib, she robbed me like a Chevy. Beat that pussy till the water break through the levees. Then it's back to the mission and get that paper right. I'm out for damn prices, I can't stay the night. Money is my wifey type, she can only get me right. My side bitch Nina ride with me for the licks at night. We don't have no pics of the plug, we don't owe shit. Hold on, this nigga lacking, bro, go get the stick. It's sacrifices that you make to get rich. I'm just ballin', trying to get mines in the mix. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. It's sacrifices that you make to get rich. I'm just ballin', trying to get mines in the mix. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks. Got me scheming for the cash, but I don't have no picks.
Hey man, it's JSN Boxing. We closing the show, but thanks to everybody who's tuning in. We will be live again on Thursday with the latest, greatest, hottest news in boxing. If you want to be a part of the game, go ahead and make sure you like the show, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you do that. This is JSN Boxing. I'm signing out. Peace.